Today, we are going to make some grass. No, I'm not in Colorado, so it's not going to be that kind of grass. It's our techniques that are so simple and sensible, your models will practically build themselves.
So originally this kit was issued by Renwall. I thought maybe it was Aurora, but no, it was originally a Renwall kit, and it was sometime in the 1950s, don't know for sure. But here's one of the versions that even had a display stand, which would be really, really cool to have.
Hello folks, it's Mad Dog Merv and welcome to the Kit Hoarder Stash. Today I've got a new kit that's a re-release of a very old kit, and that is by Atlantis. So I think this is the old, well, it would have been Polar Lights. Oh, Aurora, probably Aurora, because I know they picked up a bunch of those molds. Anyway, this is just been re-released by Atlantis, and this is called the U.S. Combat Task Force Fleet. It's got 12 famous U.S. ships in 1/1200 scale. So we're going to open this up and we're going to take a look at it. So the back of the box has this nice little ocean display. Let me get the shrink wrap off so you can actually see. Okay, there we got the shrink wrap off. Okay, so you can see back of the box here, kind of a ocean view display base. So this has the aircraft carrier Hornet, the battleship Washington, got the Washington there, heavy cruiser Canberra, the light cruiser Galveston, a frigate called the Dewey, destroyer the Sullivans. That's good. We've just had a bunch of drama with the Sullivans back east. Destroyer escort Powell, destroyer Barry, attack transport Navarro, attack cargo Rankin, and LST Eddy County and submarine Patrick Henry. So pretty cool. So we're going to open up the box, and we have, first off, this little thing from Atlantis. Please visit for 10% off on blah, 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 blah. So it's got some of the upcoming kits. And yeah, there's some nice looking stuff here. Okay, so there's that. And here is our decal sheet. And take a look at that. So, pretty neat. Ship numbers and such. And here's this sprue. You've got battleship turrets, some of the upper works of the other ships. Like here's the Washington, and looks like a destroyer escort. The carrier's quite large. Look at the Essex class carrier here. That's pretty big. And your angle deck. The molding on it is, not bad. You've got, flight deck texture there. So it's not horrible, but I mean, 1960s technology. This has definitely not been updated. But there's not a lot of flash and whatnot on it, which is good. Well, except for your conning tower of the submarine here. Okay. But there's these pieces. Yeah, I was really surprised how large these are. I just figured this was going to be a much smaller. I'm pleased with it. I just figured it would be much smaller. But like I was saying earlier, you never know what you can use some of these odd scaled things for. Either dioramas or, and this sprue here. Well, here's my battleship turrets. There we go. The upper works for the Washington. And these parts. So there's actually quite a few parts. I'll have to look at the number that it says, how many parts there are in this thing, but well over 100. Nice. Nice. Very, very nice. I think with shipping and everything, it was like 40 bucks. Here's the Washington's deck with all the little molded in 20 millimeter guns and 40s. Yeah, great from a distance. The hull, and then finally this sprue here. So, and there's quite a bit of flash on this one. So some of the sprues, there's more flash than others. Lots of little parts falling off in the bag, so you have to be careful taking that out. You know, detail is 1960s detail, toyish. But as far as something just kind of fun to have out there, yeah, I think it would be plenty of fun. Yep. See, some of these I haven't even touched and they just fall off. So, but quite a few parts, definitely. So, anyway, I am going to start building these as I get a little bit of time here and there, just to have them.
So we haven't looked at the instructions yet. We're going to go ahead and do that now. But I've decided that, kind of a nostalgic thing, I'm going to take this outside and I'm going to start building it next couple of days. Beautiful weather outside, and this is what I used to do as a kid in the summer, so I'm going to try it now. So looking at the instructions here, it names the ships that we will be building, and then it has all of the parts call-outs there. And you'll notice there's quite a few parts. So we start with the Washington, and that's sprue D. Sprue N is the Sullivans. Sprue E is the Hornet. So anyway, you can see here, pretty easy to follow instructions on how to go ahead and put these together. And most of these only have 5 or 6, maybe 10 parts at the very most. So there's not a whole lot to each one of them. Pretty straightforward and simple to build. And then we get through to the decal portion. Paint and decal has some paint callouts here, as well as where to put the decals. So that's kind of nice. So it's a beautiful day out today to build, just kind of like the good old days, being a little nostalgic. And back in the day, what did we used to do? We used to sit at the table outside and build away. So I'm going to start with the Washington. I've already started on it, and we'll just kind of go through this and see how long these take. Okay, so this will give you some idea of how far I have gotten on these. This, I believe, is the Canberra, and you can see next to the secondary battery, there's like a big gap, which is fine. I mean, I guess for what these are. I'm still working on this. I want to say it's the frigate. The carrier, I need to, of course, paint and then put the couple of aircraft on. The funny thing is, they only give you one type of aircraft, and it's this here. It's that one there. So you got like 3 or 4 of them, which it didn't carry that many of them. But anyway, yeah. And then right now I'm trying to finish up the Washington. Now, what I did want to mention is just how incredibly disappointed I am. And I should have known better. Now, I never owned this as a kid. This is one kit that I had never built in my life. And
It's the old Wren wall from sometime in the late 1950s, I believe. Now, look at the flash. Look at the flash. And these aren't the worst. Try to focus here. These are not the worst of the secondary, 5-inch guns. But you can see the sink marks in them, and you can see the flash. Yeah, it's pretty bad. The ones I've already done were even worse, and some I just finally gave up. Only got so far on them, but you can see the sinkholes. And this is configured as World War II, with all the guns and whatnot on it. And what's funny is the ship that this represents was not decommissioned, but put into the reserve in '47. So it wasn't even thought of in the 50s. Why they didn't use an Iowa class or something, I don't know. But anyway, it's taken me about 2 hours to get to this point. Maybe I was fighting the wind earlier because I thought it would be fun and nostalgic to build these outside, and then I forgot that Utah just blows. It really does. So I still have this one here to do, and you can see some of the flash that I'm going to have to clean up. That's not the hard part. It's when you have to clean up flash on some of the smaller parts that it becomes a little more difficult. So I don't know what possessed me to get these. I guess I thought they were going to be smaller. They were going to be something that I could use for, I don't know, just something weird. At this point, the only thing I can see a use for is maybe the top of a birthday cake or something like that. They're really that cheesy. I'm not sure what would possess anybody to buy these, honestly, at this point. Other than maybe nostalgia. But I got to tell you, going back in time and building some of these old low-tech kits, it's, frustrating, disappointing. I don't know what the proper word is. I guess if I had paid $5 or even $10 for this kit, I would be okay. But the $40 that I paid for this, I feel very taken advantage of. I'll just tell you that. Definitely not worth the price as far as I'm concerned. But if you have a good purpose for these, a good reason to get them, then great for you. I look at it as a lesson learned. To stay away from the old retro kits and just keep doing what I normally do. So anyway, hopefully that's helpful for you folks.